Hey, near Disney, it's the Wednesday show where we bring you the best of everything that's going on within a 25-mile radius of everything's going on within a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, and bringing you all the best of real estate, local attractions, what's going on. Stay tuned for that information. You're in the right place. Well, for a change, you're just getting one person in the on stream today. We had some last minute scheduling conflicts with some other members of the dream team. They were cool enough to still send some articles with some great information as area experts that I'm happy to pass along and share with you today as you've tuned in. Now, normally we like to start with something cheerful or something cool. And as you know, the Olympics are still going on, and the USA is doing great. Real proud to be an American and also proud to be a Floridian, as Claremont's webpage showcased some of the locals, Floridian athletes, and their accomplishments that they've won at the Olympics. We have got some gold medals, silver medal, bronze medals. So that is super incredibly cool. Noah Lyles, congratulations on gold. Shakari Richardson's on silver, and Melissa Jefferson on bronze. You are truly superstars, superheroes for Central Florida, and just want to share all the love to you guys. Now, I know that a lot of times when Olympic athletes or big time sports people achieve victory, the thing that they turn to the camera and say is, "I'm going to Disney World." And I know y'all already live in the Central Florida area, but if you feel like going to Disney World, please let us know. We're near Disney. We got some people who could maybe hook you up with getting you in there. It'd be cool to get to know anyone who is an Olympic athlete. So our numbers are here for. And hey, I can always talk about anything to do with real estate as well. So that's super fun. Then moving a little bit more into the real estate topic, we found this article about home ownership and maybe some of the hidden fees that come when you try to commit to actually owning a home and taking out a loan to do it rather than just renting. You still kind of get the monthly fee in that lifestyle for when you're a renter, but some people say, well, I want to try to make the commitment to buying a home, buying a condo, townhouse, what have you, just so that that monthly expense can, go toward ownership and I'm accumulating equity. That's usually a strategy that we strongly agree with, but we just want you to be armed with as much knowledge about that purchase as possible, because there may be some other expenses that you will have to factor in that aren't necessarily currently involved in your rental expense lifestyle. So Tanya, the code named the Latin Princess Elena, they call me the Prince of Real Estate on here, sent us this article. So basically, kind of highlighting what some of those home ownership expenses are. They include HOA fees, your taxes, and your moving costs. And as far as hidden costs go, you're trying to calculate how much you need to be able to afford it, maybe rework your budget. Affordability is the biggest challenge for first-time home buyers, as you may be able to expect. And so we just kind of want to highlight some of those expenses. Here's an interesting statistic for you. The average cost of owning a home and maintaining a single family home in the US this year is $18,000, basically 18,118, or an additional $1,500 a month on top of a mortgage payment, according to a study from Bankrate. Now, that figure is 26% higher than it was 4 years ago. So there has, been a real deal with inflation. It's creeping up on all of us in all different aspects of our expenses. And so a homeowner spent an average of $14,000 on hidden expenses in 2023, according to Zillow. So basically, we got to figure out where that is stemming from. So one thing it says that to avoid some of those hidden expenses that creep up with like your appliances breaking down, be it air conditioners or water heater. You can spend money to save money in the form of a home warranty, which is actually something that when you work with us as real estate agents, we always make a practice to gift to our buyers. And if you hear a little bit of noise, that's the doggy for Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother real estate, named Missy Elliott. She's trying to say hello in her own way. So the most common hidden expenses you should anticipate: closing costs, the kind of those expenses that come right up front, the fees you pay when finalizing your home purchase to everyone who's going into making the closing happening. This can be to like 2% to 5% of a home's purchase price, depending on what kind of property style. For like a $300,000 home, that would therefore work out to a range of $6,000 to maybe even up to $15,000 in closing costs. You meet with us and we'll go over that with the title company for you, just so you know what you're getting into. That's kind of why it's real helpful to call a realtor like us, so that we can make sure that we let you know everything to look up to. Home inspection is another cost that comes like right up front in the process. And buying one of those isn't usually too bad. They're saying it could set you back like $342 on average. You could add more things to it, like, when you tally up your bill, inspection, mold, termite, wind mitigation, all that stuff. But sometimes that inspection doesn't work out, and then you keep looking for a different home and you buy that inspection. And earlier this year, we unfortunately had a client who kept having home inspection issues, and he ended up buying 3 inspections early this year. So, God bless him for trying it. We did eventually help him find the right one, but that is rough to keep buying. Moving costs, we hook you up with movers, and they're saying that's a $4,400 expense on average. And the average cost for long distance, like if you're moving across the state, you're kind of staying local through a 3-bedroom home, that's like $2,200. So moving it across out of state, that could almost double the expense. Homeowners insurance, it's probably going to be more than that renter's insurance when we're comparing those two lifestyles. Basically, it's going to factor in like on location. Are you on the coast when Hurricane Debbie was coming? That's versus Central Florida. People like to be a bit more inward, like we are here in the Disney area. Homeowners insurance costs averaging $2,200 a year for covering a $300,000 average costing home, according to bank rate. You've got your property taxes, which will vary on the sales price that you buy. Budget that in. That'll be a homeowner's expense versus a renter's expense. Buying the dang furniture to furnish it. You may have been used to renting a place furnished, but then when you got to get your own, if you have champagne taste, it might cost you. But we're talking about the average here. So average cost to furnish a 3-bedroom house is $10,000 to $40,000 with moderately priced furnishings, according to Home Guide. While the average cost to furnish a 4-bedroom actually takes it up to $15,000 to $60,000. That extra bedroom, putting some nice things in that, maybe just shop at IKEA or something. And then, the repairs and maintenance we talked about. Great to have it covered with the home warranty for those ACs and water heaters and stuff, washer dryers. And of course, the HOA. That's something that the rent usually factors in that you're going to have on your own. So we'll try to find you either, maybe we should do a video sometime on communities in Central Florida that don't have an HOA, but a lot of them do, including where we're broadcasting from, Celebration. You get a lot for what you pay for. It's a pretty good price of $386 a quarter. But that will be a factor when you're pushing it all together. So let's just take it to the next topic. And of course, we invite anybody who's watching to comment, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. We always appreciate to be able to chance to say hello to you. And any questions about what we're talking about, or just anything about Central Florida or real estate in general, happy to engage with you in the comments. This is bookending on those expenses. We've kind of been seeing a steady mortgage rate for a while. There's whispers that maybe you'll get a rate cut formally in September. But as for where the interest rate situation looks like right now for Osceola County, that's where Disney and Celebration Florida is, we've got some statistics that just pulled up. So basically for conforming loan type, that 30-year fixed. That one is, the popular one we see, and that's 6.125 discount points, 0.75. 20-year is 5.75%, and then 15-year 5.125. So, if you can make that work, that's a little bit lower of an interest rate. Then going over to jumbo 30-year, that's a 6%, get one discount point. 20-year 5.875%, get one discount point. So that's the state of things with that. Any questions, we can also answer that for you or put you in touch with some bevy of good lenders. We always try to keep a good variety of people just to stay fresh on what the latest programs are. And speaking of interest rates, I wanted to take a moment to kind of tell you about, we've talked about this before, but that possibility of buying down your mortgage interest rate. And the reason I thought that's extra topical is because we wanted to tell you about an opportunity on one of our listings in Celebration, Florida, that just had a nice price cut. And also on top of that, the seller is offering an incentive of buying down up to 2% of the sales price toward paying down your interest rate. So if you're a buyer who's been a little skittish about this interest rate market, you've been wanting to make a move, saying, well, what's just when that rates cut's happening? That's when I'd like to make a move, maybe finally be the right time to buy. Sometimes the option to buy down the mortgage interest rate can make it a little easier to pull the trigger now. So basically, borrowers can get a lower interest rate on their home by putting more money down up front, but sometimes you are tapped out and you just got what you've got for that down payment, and it can be up to alternatively the seller, like we talked about, to offer money to buy down that rate, or even the lenders, if they are trying to get some incentive to get business, they might do that for you. So we try to put you in touch with good people. So buying stuff down is a good option in the high interest rate environment that we find ourselves in. Let me see. I've got the article continues down here. How do you buy down? Basically, it's an option based on how long its effectiveness is going to be dependent on how long you plan to live in the home and how quickly buying that down in the long run or short run is going to affect you. Basically, like one mortgage point typically costs 1% of your loan and permanently lowers your interest rate by about 25%. And if you took out a $150,000 mortgage, for example, 1 point would cost $1,500 and get you a 0.25% discount. 2 mortgage point, $3,000, and lower it by 0.50%. So, it makes a difference in the long term. And it's something that we have the incentive to do on our listing here at 604 Nadina Place. Basically, this is a beautiful 1-story home in Celebration, Florida, that's pretty near to the downtown, and has this lovely front porch that looks at some greenery in the front, kind of some park space. It's just nice for accessibility purposes when everything's all on one floor, like you see here. Got a cute kitchen, dining space, and then this bedroom, third bedroom. It's nice. It's got the 4th bedroom in a garage apartment, which is awesome for rental income possibilities, or they use them for, as they call, in-law suites, or some people just when their kids come to visit from college, give them a place to crash, hang out just for guests. So yeah, this is a great place because it has some fenced in grass, very coveted commodity in the town of Celebration. Like there's that garage with the apartment built above it, and you may have seen has some solar panels installed on top of it. Those are fully paid off, so that means that you will save significantly on that electric bill, which is an incredible feat as well. And here's a better look at that. Actually got the solar panels, they're Tesla brand, set up there, and you get a nice look down here. If you can see my cursor, that's a good bit of yard space, nice and green right there, to do whatever you want with. Let the pets out, let the kids play, do some grilling. It's a great lifestyle for sure. So That is the gist of it. If you want some more information about that seller incentive we were talking about, the possibility to pay 2% of that sales price, which has gotten a reduction down to 1,020,000. We were initially at 1,083,000. So that is a significant price cut. And then on top of that, that seller incentive for 2% toward either buying down the interest rate, or maybe if you don't want that, it can be towards some improvements. Maybe as you saw through the house, you say, I might do things a little bit differently with flooring or paint or tile or something. Well, then you can make some great use of that incentive that way. It's a very rare commodity right now to get those single story homes. And you saw that's a brand new roof on top of it in addition to the solar panel. So looking very beautiful to see those kinds of updates. New roof, new AC, new water heater. And in addition, Tanya, the Elena, Latin princess, as we call her, um, has sent us an article that she thought was pretty fun that I thought I would take the opportunity to highlight. Colors to fit your kitchen's orientation. And you might not realize that when you're choosing the color palette for your house, just how much the direction that the house faces might affect where the light comes in from any windows and such, which could affect the look of the paint. According to this, from this article from realtors.org, 41% of homeowners regret or are dissatisfied with the color choice for their kitchen, from a study from MoneyWise. And they may not have factored in the direction of whether it's north, south, east, or west. So basically, you got to choose the right color for your space, and think they've got it down to a science. North-facing kitchens tend to lack sunlight in comparison to south-facing kitchens. The lack of sunlight can, in some cases, leave a kitchen space feeling a little dark and cold, which can make it look smaller. If something's dark, it's not necessarily being as expansive looking with the light shining on every feature. So that makes sense. So south-facing kitchens get more sunlight and flow during the day, and such colors are more plentiful. Pale soft tones work especially well for south-facing kitchens as they make it look airy and spacious. Interesting. So east-facing kitchens tend to receive plenty of natural light in the morning, but as the days goes on, the kitchen space can get a little bit darker. Recommending opting for colors that maintain a level of brightness throughout the day, but also help balance the immensity of sunlight. So tans of beige can work extremely well for east-facing kitchens as they create a warm ambience. And also says blue is good. So there's some shades of light green. That's what I did in my place. I got this nice blue in my kitchen, and just depending on the way that the light hits it, in your house, have you ever noticed that it just kind of like changes the colors when the sun comes in? It's like it's a cool blue in the day, and then toward the evening, it almost looks periwinkle. So that's a lot of fun to just notice that about the colors. West-facing kitchens get more natural light in the early evening as the sun begins to set and can offer up a warm golden tone of lighting within the kitchen space. So when choosing the color to complement that, opt for a shade that is warm. Recommends white or a cool toned gray for west-facing kitchens. So that's fun. It would have been a little more fun if they provided some more pictures, I will say, in this article, but it is food for thought when it comes to that. Whatever colors your kitchen, let me know, or let me know if it does some fun things on the eyes, depending on what time of day it is, or as the day goes on and the sun moves around. We always love to hear about your home decor stories or recommendations, or what you like to see in a house when you're moving in. Because sometimes like they said, 41% of people aren't satisfied with the color choices in their kitchen. But don't let that stop you. We know some great painters in Celebration, or just who work in Central Florida in general. Shout out to JR with Painting My Life Away, among others. And we'll get you that right color. Paint, they always say at the showings, paint's easy. Anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm not think I got to the latest comments. Kim says, great show. Thank you so much, Kim. Appreciate you watching. And I'm going to throw it over to the fairy godmother of real estate to sign you out. So take care. Be blessed. Like and subscribe.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.